What do I do through my work as a therapist? When my children were little, they asked me, why do I have to go to work? What is it so important about my work that can be more significant, more valuable than being their mommy? And that work should suffice, should be all the work that I should be doing, being with them all the time. So I had to give them a meaningful, real answer because just telling them that we all have to earn our living to be able to survive wouldn't do it. Their answer would be, well, don't worry, mommy, we will give you from our savings, we will give you all our money, and don't worry, you don't have to work to make a living. So I have to sit with myself and find for myself, for them, and for them as well, the answer to that question. What is it about my work? What do I do through my work that it's so significant, so meaningful, even as significant as being a mother? So the answer was that through my work, I help people be happy again and bring the best in themselves. And that answer, because it was truthful, it was real, did it for them as well. And they were all right. They consented for me to share my time and my gifts between being a mother and being a therapist. So later on, throughout my work, I have been asked this question many times and I had to answer it again and again. And in my work, I kind of play all sorts of roles and wear different hats. Sometimes I do the work of a plumber, somebody said, where I do the work, the inner plumbing for the stuck parts of ourselves, for the clogged parts, for the parts that from our past experiences they haven't had a chance to be set free, to be processed, to be metabolized and flushed out from our emotional, mental, physical system, and we kind of get constipated in there, and it affects the way we are in the world and in our life. I also do the work of the inner renovations, where, again, through the impact of the past, our inner home, our whole being might have had a poor foundation of trust or mistrust, and all the storms and experiences to our life might have shaken our inner home, and we need to go through this inner decluttering, inner renovation process to be able to free the space within ourselves and claim it fully, fully for what is it meant to be for ourselves, and planting in that space our inner gardens with not with the weeds, but with the flowers that we want to blossom within ourselves. I also do the work sometimes of a doula, which is quite amazing work, helping people be rebirthed, coming once again into this life, fully welcomed, fully free, fully being who they were created to be by the source of being, and return to innocence, returning to us as we are in truth, and not the ones that we might have learned or been conditioned that we are, through the programs of the world, through the experiences with the world once again, and getting stuck in these belief systems, these programs, software programs in the back of our mind that make us believe that we are not who we are not to be, or believing that we are not enough, we are not we are supposed to be, we are not um, whole, we are not deserving of happiness and health and well-being and love. So all of those programs, decluttering them, setting them free so we can return to being who we were created to be. And in my work, one of my expertise is in trauma treatment. Trauma is being defined by those past negative experiences that had a strong impact on us. They impacted our sense of self, our sense of relating to life, to others, to everything that we encounter. And in trauma, we move through healing, and healing it's a prerequisite, absolute mandatory prerequisite for everything, to be able to be restored, remembered. All our members, all the different aspects of ourselves that have been split, disconnected, dislocated, lost, forgotten, hidden in the shadows, in the darkness, in our inner basements, bringing them back through healing, bring back and through wholeness, into remembering, putting the members back together, realignment, and at the same time remembering as the memory process of who we are in truth, as who we were created to be. We came into the world to be before the world kicked in. So this process of moving from, in therapy we might call post-traumatic stress disorder sometimes, when the impact of the trauma was too strong, to post-traumatic growth. And this is a sacred process. The way I see it, we are each pieces of raw marble. And through trauma and our most challenging experiences that we all had our shares of. There is not a person in this world that haven't had their share of painful, hurtful experiences. So we are this raw piece of, of marble, and the trauma, our challenging experiences are the sizzle in God's hands, meant to polish us, to transform us into these beautiful, unique pieces of art that are meant to be shared, to be expressed, to be one with all the other pieces of art. So moving from PTSD to post-traumatic growth, healing, restoring, reclaiming our life, reclaiming ourselves in truth, in oneness, and therefore being that presence for ourselves and for others around us from a real, authentic, genuine self, rather than working so hard to pretend to wear all of these masks and roles and functions and holding on to them and feeling that I constantly have to improve myself, that I'm never being enough, I'm never what I'm supposed to be, but realizing that in truth we are already, we have been at all times, all, all that we need to be. Our value has already been given through our existence by the source of our existence. So remembering the truth about who we are, and then experiencing life, and receiving and giving to life as one, in this wholeness, in this oneness with life itself, with everything that it has to offer, everything that it brings to us, in that restored trust that everything that is happening to me is for me, for my own good, for my growth, for my well-being. So this is partly of what I do through my work, and I feel very grateful, very humble, because my work is truly a sacred ground for me. Each encounter that I have with each person that comes my way, there is this process, and I do trust the process that it's beyond me and it is within each person. We all are fully equipped with everything we need, both for healing and flourishing and blooming and living life as heaven on earth, truly. And this is possible. It is. It is. They are not just beautiful words expressed. It's true and it is possible. So I'm very grateful, very humbled to be part of this process, this work where I can be a witness. I can have a part through my presence in this wonderful, wonderful process of healing, of restoring, of remembering, of realignment. And then all of us together being fully the most that we are meant to be from the seed that we were created to be. And it's truly a sacred, miraculous process. So thank you. So thank you to each of you who has the courage to step into this process and allow me gracefully and humbleness to be part of it. Thank you.